welcome to another week of Pilates plus Physio. This week we're doing exercises, especially if you've got low back pain. Obviously not every exercise will suit everybody, but this is just a general nice gentle workout suitable for most people with low back pain and everybody else as well. So you need your mat and you need your yoga brick, or if you haven't got a brick you need a nice big fat book. So starting off, feet pointing to the front, so see if you can have your feet parallel. Imagine a little arch on the inside of your foot, so maybe just lift the inside arches away from the floor a little bit. Your knees are relaxed. Try and lengthen through the hips a little bit. Just watch you're not standing with the legs really gripping, so your buttock muscles should be relaxed. Nice and open across the shoulders. Gently tuck in the chin. Think of lengthening up through the back of the neck. So just warming up the shoulders, just rolling them, going backwards, shrugging them up, right round, back and down. Don't worry about the creaking and the crunching. Just nice big circles, going backwards preferably. Lovely, and then just gently slide the shoulders up to your ears and then really let them drop. And again, slide up and let them release. Okay, alternate heel lifts. So just lifting one heel off the ground, knees going forwards, nice and smooth. Just getting that big toe joint bending. Get the ankles moving a little bit. Great, okay. A little bit of balancing. So remember, if your balance isn't great, stand near something to put a finger on. So if you can, push right up towards the roof with one hand. Think of pressing down to the floor with the other. The aim is to keep your middle bit completely vertical, so you don't want to be popping off to the side. So push up with one arm, press down with the other, and just bring one knee up in front. Hold there. Okay, pop that leg down, switch legs. So you're just asking one leg to really support your pelvis, your trunk, and your head and your neck. And obviously that's what's going to happen when you're walking. So if this isn't going on, then every time you walk, you're getting a lot of tipping to one side, which often can really stir up your back. So just getting those muscles at the side of the pelvis working better to keep your pelvis level, so that whichever foot is off the ground, your pelvis is staying nice and level as you walk. And then switch again. So if you were doing this sort of in front of a mirror, you should hardly be able to see which leg is coming off the floor if you only had the mirror coming down to your belly button, for example. Switch the arms over, so press right up with one, down with the other. Feel that foot on the floor. Imagine a little string going around the other knee, and it's just gently lifting your knee up towards the roof. And come down. So it doesn't really matter how high the leg comes. It's more about the supporting leg. Couple more switches. Fold the knee up. Feel that supporting leg on the ground. And one more on the other side. Lovely. Both feet down. Take your feet a little bit wider apart than your hips. Hands on the side of your leg. So just take one arm out to the side and all the way up to your ear, and then think of reaching up and over. And come back to the center, float that arm down, other arm. So get the arm moving first. So the arm comes up to your ear, if it'll go that far, and then you're going up and over. Nice side stretch. You could sort of measure with the other fingers how far down towards your knee you're getting. So float the arm up to your ear, Then you're reaching up and over. The other hand slides down the side of your leg. Are you getting to your knee? A couple of inches above the knee. Very bendy people might just get below the knee. And going again. Arm coming up. Think of reaching right up first. Then you go over. Back up to the top. Lengthen through the arm as you come down. Couple more. Float the arm up and over. And back to the top. And one more on the other side. So you're getting a nice side bending movement. Great. Okay. Bring the arm down. Come down to the mat. Lying on your back, just in the relaxation position. So you're lying on your back. Knees bent. Head on the mat or just on a little folded towel or a little, really thin little pillow if you're a bit stiff through your upper back and neck. So legs parallel, feet on the ground, maybe just tap the feet up and down a little bit. Think of letting your back relax down into the mat. You could put your hands on your tummy, so if you can feel your ribs, they should come up into a sort of V in the front. Just put your hand just below that. Just focus on your breathing a moment. So just gentle breath in. And a nice relaxed breath out. Think of your body just sinking down, sort of melting into the floor. You're trying to basically switch off quite a lot of muscles, and then you can gradually start to build them up, switch them back on again as we go through the different exercises. Couple more breaths. This time see if you can do a really big breath right down into the tummy. Really fill the air right up with, fill the lungs up with air. And long breath out. Good. Okay. Pop your arms down beside you, feet nice and close into your bottom, and you're just going to bounce your bottom up and down on the floor. So you, like you're stamping your foot on the floor, you're stamping your bottom on the ground. So you're just bouncing up and down, just really waking up that back of the pelvis, sacroiliac joint area. Just warming that up a little bit. Feet down flat. Good. Okay, so think about that area now, sitting on the mat. Maybe bring your fingers to the front, find your hip bones, so those sticky outy bones either side of the pelvis. Rest your fingers on them. So you could either think of one of those snooker triangles on your lower tummy, or you could think of a clock face on your tummy. And you've got a marble or a snooker ball in the snooker triangle. And you're just going to flatten your back into the mat so the marble would roll towards your belly button. And then you're going to arch your back away from the floor so the marble rolls down away from your belly button. So just nice and smooth with that. Just flattening your back and arching away. It's not a massive movement. You're not trying to see how far you can go. You're just feeling that gentle movement through your lower back. So arching away, flattening down. Should start to sort of loosen off a little bit. Feet flat. Just nice and smooth. Okay, come back into the middle. Fingers over your hip bones again. Now think of a bit of guttering or something going across your tummy with the marble in that. And you're going to roll the marble over to your left. And then you're going to roll the marble over to your right. So now one side of the pelvis comes forward, one side drops back. And then switch and go the other way. So again, it's quite a subtle movement, nothing much going on. One hip bone comes forward, one drops back, and that's what's got to happen when you're walking normally. One side of the pelvis comes forward as the other goes back, and then they switch. And obviously if that's not happening, then that alters the whole pattern of your walking, and something has to compensate further up. So just nice and smooth. Tipping one way, tipping the other. So you might find one side comes forward a lot more easily than the other. Lovely. Okay, come right back into the middle. So hip bones level, little bit of a hollow through your lower back, and the aim is to keep that the same now. So now we're aiming not to move that. Think about sort of where the pressure is between your bottom and the floor. So if you've got more pressure on one side than the other, see if you can come back to fairly level. Take your hands up towards the roof and just take one arm back over the top of your head towards the floor and draw it back up and take the other arm back. So elbows staying pretty well straight. So think of your sort of middle finger drawing a big arc as you go back. Back of the ribs are staying down on the mat. No change in pressure through the pelvis. That's good. Okay, both arms going back together. As you do that, see if you can feel anything going on through your lower tummy. Should just gently feel it dropping in away from the waistband of your trousers. And then just aim to keep that dropped in feeling as you bring the arms back up. Great, okay, keep the arms up towards the ceiling. We're doing right arm and right leg. So right arm going back to your ear, slide the right leg down the mat. Press out through that right heel and come back up. Left arm and left leg. So if you still had that snooker triangle or that gutter resting on your pelvis, that marble would now be staying right in the middle. It doesn't roll off to one side or the other. So we're doing same arm and leg, right arm and right leg, left arm and left leg. As you slide the leg down, put your toes up towards you. Think of really pushing out through your heel. Okay, let's switch to doing diagonal arm and leg. So your right arm goes back to your ear, the left leg now slides down the mat. Left arm and right leg. So keep it nice and smooth. If you get into a muddle, just stop. Go back to just doing the same arm and leg. Okay, both arms up towards the ceiling, both knees bent. Let's do one arm going out to the side, one arm going back, one leg sliding down the mat. So one arm sideways, one arm still going back towards your ear, one leg pressing out towards the end wall. Pelvis still staying level. Keep breathing, just normal breathing. You could think of breathing in as you take the arms out. Breathe out as you come back up. Breathe in as the arms go out. Breathe out as you come back up. Great, okay. Pop the arms down. Feet nice and close into your bottom. Legs parallel. You could actually put the brick in between your knees. So brick between your knees. Feet flat on the ground. We're just going to do a spine curl. So press into your feet. Curl your bottom up towards the ceiling. So you just want to slightly squeeze on the brick. Breath at the top. Roll back down again. One bone at a time as you come back down onto the floor. So going again, think of really peeling your back off the floor, one bone at a time. You're aiming to get each little joint in your back doing its own little bit of movement. Feet staying flat. You want to press into your feet. And get those muscles, the buttocks, working to really straighten the hips. And roll down. If you get cramp in your hamstrings, it's because your hamstrings are trying to do the job of somebody else, the buttocks. So the hamstrings are now complaining that you're asking them to do a job they're not really designed for. So try changing the position of your feet slightly. Sometimes bringing your feet a little bit closer in helps if you're getting cramp. But also focusing on using those buttock muscles. Just going a couple more. Lovely. Finish off the one you're doing. Take the brick out. Bring your knees up to your chest. Cross your ankles. Hold the knees. A little bit of gentle rocking. Knees towards your chest. Gently rock. Lovely. Place your feet back down and turn over onto your side. So we're going to do the clam. So you want the underneath arm right up above your head. Hips and knees bent, heels about in line with your bottom. Roll forward through the shoulders slightly. So forearm and elbow on the mat. Big gap between your ear and your shoulder. Keep the heels together. Float that top knee up and come down. So the things to watch for are that you're not allowing your whole body to roll back. So you really want to stay rolled forward. Top knee up, heels stuck together and down. And then let's keep the knees together, take your foot up. And then heels together, take the knee up. Knees together, take the foot up. It's pouring with rain out there. So knees together, take the foot towards the ceiling. Heels together, take your knee to the roof. So you're really getting those deep hip muscles working. And they're the muscles that keep your pelvis level when you're walking. So if you struggled with that first exercise that we did today, Heaven and Earth it's called, where you're pushing up towards the ceiling with one hand and pressing down with the other. If you struggled with that to keep your body straight, then a bit more work on this exercise. Really get those muscles that help keep your pelvis level working. That's good. Okay. And then turn over onto your other side. Let's do the other leg. So underneath arm, right above your head if it goes. Hips and knees bent. Roll forward. So elbow, forearm, hand on the ground. Top knee up. And come down, keep your knees together, lift the foot off. Heels together, lift the knee. Knees together, lift the foot. So nice and smooth. Watch you're not working the underneath leg too much. And just going one more. Lovely. Okay. And then come over so that you are lying on your tummy. So lying on your stomach, hands on at the side of the mat, forehead on the floor, legs out straight, feet pointed if you can. Just keep the chin tucked in, press into your hands and come up into like a yoga cobra. And down. And again. Pressing into your hands, peeling up away from the floor. And down. And she goes, going from one bed to the other. It's a hard life being a dog. A lot of sleeping involved. Okay, next time come up onto your hands and knees. Bring the knees underneath you, bottom right back to your heels. So when you're coming up into the cobra, you're basically closing down all the little joints in your back. And now when you do child pose, you're opening up those joints. So come back down onto your tummy. And again, pressing into your hands, peeling up away from the floor and coming down. So hips staying down on the mat. Don't worry if you can't get the elbows straight, just going as far as you're happy. And then again, onto hands and knees. This time take your knees nice and wide, big toes together. And again, bottom right back. See if you can sort of snuggle your bottom down by your heels. Stretch the arms in front a little bit. Breathe into the back of the ribs. Lovely. Okay, come up onto hands and knees. So hands under your shoulders, knees under the hips. Remember, you can put a towel, extra towel or blanket underneath your knees. Similarly, just getting the hands up on a folded towel is quite helpful too if your wrists are not very happy in this position. So, a little bit of a hollow in your back. Imagine you've got your Friday night tipple on your bottom. You've got the other one up between your shoulder blades. Keep them balanced there. Slide one leg back. Float it up. Hold there. Touch the toes down. Slide the leg back in. So you're keeping that hollow in your back. Just think of just very gently drawing your tummy up away from the floor, but you're not allowing your back to arch up like a little humpback bridge. Slide the leg back, float it up, and come down. Other side, slide the leg back, keep the chin tucked in, keep that feeling of really pressing the floor away from you. One more on the leg, slide back, float the leg up. Great, okay. Let's add the diagonal arms. But if you're struggling just doing the leg on its own, just stick with doing the leg or just do an arm on its own. Otherwise, slide one leg back, take the diagonal arm out in front. Hold it there. And come back down. Keep those drinks on your bottom and up between the shoulders. Nice glass of wine, beer, nice glass of water. Diagonal arm and leg. Toes pointing to the floor. Hold there. Good. Okay, again, you could repeat that or taking it up another slight level. Float the arm out, slide the leg back. And then bring your elbow towards your knee. So you're curling up, nose towards your knee, elbow to your knee. And reach back out again. And again. Elbow to knee. And reach back out. And one more. Elbow to knee. So then you're letting your back round and then you're coming back into that just nice neutral position. Great, swap sides. So press into the floor, chin tucking in, slide maybe your left leg back and your right arm forward. Hold there. And then take your elbow to your knee, tuck in the chin, reach back out. Elbow to knee, reach back out. One more, elbow to knee, reach back out. Lovely. Pop the hands down, knees apart again, big toes together, bottom back into a child pose stretch. Lovely, okay. And then turn back onto your back, grab your brick or your fat book. So knees bent, feet down flat. Curl your bottom up and slide the block underneath your bottom. So it should be a nice flat bony place to put it. One leg down, other leg down. Let the feet really flop. Fingers linked, palms to the roof, arms back over the top of your head. So lovely exercise to do if your job involves you doing lots and lots of sitting. So you're getting completely out of that slightly hunched position that most of us end up at the computer at. Breathe down into the tummy. If your shoulders don't like this position, you can do the stretch with your arms down beside you. See if you can let the back of your knees drop down. You're getting a nice stretch at the front of the hips. Gentle backwards arching through your back. So the aim is to stay here for about a minute. Obviously, if you get uncomfortable, then come off before. Lovely. Okay, bring the arms all the way down. Slide one leg up, slide the other leg up. Press into your feet, ease your bottom off the brick. Brick out, bottom down. Bring your knees up to your chest, cross your ankles, hold the knees, gently rock. So this exercise isn't the best one to do if your back is really, really painful. So if you've just done something and twinged your back, then the knee rocking is great. And any of the other exercises we've done today, the block is more of a preventative routine to try to decompress the discs. So often people sort of stop doing their exercises for a bit, then they twinge their back, then they try to get on the brick and they say, oh, it was really painful. So the brick isn't necessarily the best thing when your back is acutely painful, but for general, ongoing, achy, stiff backs, it's great. So ankles crossed, hold the knees, gently rock the knees up and down towards your chest rather than side to side. You can do a little bit of side to side, but up and down just gets those little joints in your back opening and shutting, which is what they need to do for most normal, day-to-day movements, bending down to the dishwasher. That kind of thing, those joints need to open and shut nice and smoothly. Okay, then put your hands behind your head, so head resting on your hands or hands on your forehead, fingers linked, and you're just going to gently curl your knees towards your chest and down slowly. So it's a smooth, controlled movement. You're really getting the lower tummy working. Watch you're not holding your breath. So just peeling your bottom away from the floor. Don't worry if it doesn't move very much. If you really don't like this exercise, you could uncross your legs, press your lower back into the mat, keep your heel in close to your bottom, touch one heel down. As that leg comes up, the other one goes down. It's a bit like those weather people in those old-fashioned little weather things. The woman comes out as the man goes in. One heel goes down as the other one comes up. So either that or the curling. So generally, if you've got a really stiff, achy back, I would repeat that little routine 3 times through. So lying on the brick for a minute, half a minute rocking the knees, 10 to 15 getting the lower tummy working. And then hold on to the knees. This time maybe just take them in a little bit of a circle going around one way. And a little circle going the other way. Great. Okay. Just loosen things off a little bit. And then either turn onto your side, come up sitting, or hold behind the thigh, tuck in the chin, roll up. Most people are probably better sitting up on their brick, unless you're very bendy, got very long, nice long stretchy hamstrings. So sitting up, ankles crossed. Aim to think of really lengthening up through the spine. Arms up in front, grab a hold of the elbows, so a bit like a sort of Cossack. And we're just going to slide the elbows around to the side. And coming back. So when you're going to the right, think of really anchoring your left sitting bone on that brick. Keep your eyes roughly where your watch is, so the head's not turning a lot further. You're aiming to get that twisting happening through your upper back, which is where twisting should happen. So you just imagine you've got your arms on a nice smooth shiny bar or something, and you're just sliding them right round one way and coming back and sliding them round the other way and back. Bottom bones staying fixed onto the floor or the brick. Lovely. Back into the centre, bring the arms down, come slowly up into standing. Get rid of that. So feet pointing to the front. We just finished with a couple of roll downs. So chin onto your chest, suck in the lower tummy. Roll down. You can let the knees bend forward a little bit. If your back's really sore, you can sort of walk your hands down the legs. So roll right down. Let your head dangle, let the arms dangle. Draw in the tummy again. Engage your pelvic floor muscles. Press into your feet. Unfold all the way back up. Coming back up nice and tall. And again, chin down to your chest. Tummy in. Rolling down. Right down, right down, right down. Dangle the arms, dangle the head. Press your feet into the ground as you unfurl all the way back up. And one more. Chin down, tummy in. So lower tummy, away from the waistband of your trousers, unless you've got your trousers right up around your ribs. Unfurl all the way back up. Fantastic. Slide the shoulders up and just let them drop. Thank you so much for joining me. Hope you're all keeping well and see you again next week. Bye.